Hello everyone and welcome to Cymatic TV. I hope that water's not too disturbing. I'm right by a river, as you can well see, and the beauty is as well, I'm right by this lovely church here. So this is where we're going to be doing the energy update from. We're going to be getting the chakra sequencing, we're going to be getting the message from the earth. We're also going to be going into the sun and also the ley lines, the energy lines that go through this church here. And yes, going through the sun, going through earthquakes and so forth. So without further ado, let's get on with the tape.
Don't believe, just know. Cymatic TV, turning vibration into reality.
So here we are in the foothills of the Pyrenees in France. Absolutely glorious day today. Spring doesn't seem to exist anymore. I'm working on a studio, an inside studio, so I will be doing a lot more sort of blogs in the way more than anything else about energy. So you know, look out for that. Yeah, it's been an interesting thing. I'm going to blow my own trumpet here, right? Because I was talking in February about the sun dropping out in the beginning of March and staying very quiet until the until around about the 16th, between the 16th and the 21st of March. I think there's going to be really start hitting the earth around about the 19th of March. And this is where I blow my own trumpet. Spot on, spot on. And on my sister channel, the Astro Flower, where I read tarot cards, it's been spot on as well for the readings there. So it will. The Astro Flower is linked in the description below. You'll be able to find that channel as well. So yeah, so it has sort of kicked back in. So let's just see what's going on with the sun and going on with the earthquakes and so forth.
So let's just have a look at the sun. What we're looking for at the moment is down at the bottom right hand side. There's a filament energy up here in the northern hemisphere and a filament energy in the southern hemisphere, but there's also other stuff coming through. Now this starts here on the 14th of March, and as we go through, that's when you can see the eruption on the right hand side, nice big eruption, and the filament energies on the bottom. There it is there, just releasing off. You can see that little black cloud just going off there, and you can see the ripping across the corona of the or the surface of the sun. There's that one slight one there that's just on the northern hemisphere that also erupted just beforehand, which is just there, where that goes shooting out the top. But look at that on the right hand side. Now that is not directed in the direction of Earth, thankfully, and it does get majorly big. Let's just see it in another sort of wavelength. Now here we have the same time period here for the sun. And what you might notice as well is once you get that eruption on the right hand side, just look at those beautiful arcing filaments there on the right hand side. Absolutely amazing, really beautiful solar flare that went off in the direction in front of the Earth. So we have been getting knocks through the electromagnetic field. It's been gradually picking up, but nothing really to sort of write home to about in a way. And then we have these filament energies. You can see them erupting there in the north, just there. It leaves that dark streak and then goes out. And then on the southern hemisphere, you get that lifting there of that filament energy just there. You can see it just there on the southern hemisphere. Now those filament energies, and I've been saying this a lot on Cymatic TV, those filament energies are very emotional, and we're going to be going into a period now where there's going to be a lot more filament energies for the next sort of 18 months. I think we're over solar maximum. Some people are saying we're going to go into solar maximum in 2025. I don't think so. I think it's only going to last us really through to September, October. You heard it here first. I also said that the sun was going to kick off on the 16th, between the 16th and the 21st of March. That seems to be true as well. I'm bang on the money at the moment. I'm doing well. Just to go back onto this, there's the other thing that we need to see is that there on the left hand side, it comes in front of these sunspots here that are coming around the corner, which will be facing the Earth in the next sort of few days, probably around about the 21st as well, so maybe that's when it kicks off. But these coronal holes that are coming through, which is the earthy energy, and that's going to be with us in the next sort of few days. But let's just see on the the corona of the sun, just see how big those flares are. So here we have Lascaux C2. Now there was that eruption that was went off to the north, away from the sun. Now just look on the right hand side. Look how it's building up. Look at that. Now that is absolutely massive. Right? I'm not joking. The Earth is about a fifth of the size of my pointer. Not even that. It's like a grain of sand at the end of my pointer. Look how massive that is. It actually takes up more than 1/3. It takes up more than approximately about a third of the radius of the solar system when it's sort of flying out through the inner planets. Absolutely amazing. But nothing really else that comes off of those two filament energies seem to be coming our way. We will be getting it a little bit. This here is the Enral spiral here, and as you can see, it's from the 15th as it goes forward, and then we get the little filament eruptions that come off, and you can see them now coming away just from here. The Earth is this spot here, as you can well see, and it just see how it sort of comes in our sort of direction. It appears to be heading our way, slightly out from it, and it should be reaching, it's a very, very side swipe in a way. It's heading south of us, so it's coming in our direction, but it's heading south, and we can see it here, and that will turn up around about the 20th of March. So emotional times as we go into the solstice. No, it's not solstice, equinox, sorry, which I will be doing a video on. Make sure you subscribe. Doing a video on not only on the solstice, but also on the equinox, but also on the eclipses that are coming through, and the energies, what to expect within your own emotions, your own spirit, and your body, and the world that is around us. But in the meantime, let's just get back to see how it affected the Earth on the radio frequency. So here you can see is what they call the D layer. As it comes through, this is coming from, this is from the 16th. It's 2 o'clock. The flares have already sort of started coming through, and look how it's electrifying the polar regions of the Earth. So there is this sort of like, it's almost as if like there's this like a plane going through the sound barrier. When the plane's gone past, then you get the boom. So it's almost as if like this is what we're sort of experiencing here in the electro or in the radio frequencies. And there you see another flare that just went off here as we go through to the end of the sort of cycle of those sort of flares. And let's just have a look at those flares there as well, because I was talking about how the flares were going to start kicking off on the 16th, and you can see before. Now if you look here, there's these moments where it drops out. I'm trying to do a video on that because that does affect, it appears to affect the human spirit. I haven't really looked at it before, and now I'm getting more and more interested in it, and how we have these sort of things are really peppery, nicely going along, and then all of a sudden it drops out, and sometimes you may feel that. And look what's happening here. This is the 16th in this section here. Just before the 16th, nothing really happened. There was an M flare that was just before that, but that went out the back. That wasn't really affecting the Earth that much. And now we're starting on the 16th. We've had an M flare, but it's not in the direction of the Earth, as you will see in a second. But it is affecting a little bit the electromagnetics of the Earth. Therefore, it's affecting us as individuals magnetically, and gets us a little bit more sort of charged. Let's just take a closer look over the last few days here. This is over the last 1 day. So we have this M flare here that sort of went down. It had a reoccurring blip, and then another little one, and then it's sort of calmed down, and we're dropping it out. But it started here on the 16th, and it's gradually picking up. So it's going to be a very much more sort of constant energy that's sort of coming our way. Let's just see that big flare and see how it is affecting. And you'll see the difference between the two, the one that's heading towards the Earth and the one that's heading away from the Earth. This is the Iswar, and you can see there on the left-hand side over here, you can see the dates on it. So it's where it's coming off on the 16th. Look, just before the 16th, as it were. absolutely amazing sort of eruption. Hang on a second, just let me get the timing right. There you go. So that's the one that sort of happened on the sort of like 15th at around about 12 o'clock. That was that big sort of flare. And look at it, it's kicking off, and it takes up more than almost like a third of the size of the space. Imagine if that was coming in Earth's direction. But it hasn't. It's actually heading in the direction of Venus and Mars. So basically, it's taking out the emotional compact of the influence of Venus and Mars through the sun's messages and through to us. So it should help you over the next few days, and this is where it sort of kicks in. So let's just see where it goes through there. So you're looking at the 18th, starting from tomorrow. Even from today, it might be easier to sort of like focus on things without having too much focus on love, as it were. If it's a bit turbulent, your relationships at the moment, it's probably easier to focus on it yesterday or today, sorry, where it's cutting out a little bit of that sort of messaging that's coming through. And then here on the 18th, in around about midday, that's UK time, that's when it really cuts out the fiery energy from the sun. So this is and we're talking about the overall energies here. We're not talking about direct energies. So this is very much overall energies. So these energies are more around us than affecting us directly. So you might feel that there's a little bit of pressure taken off life at the moment that is in the surrounding energies. That is going to change over the next few days. Once the sun starts picking up, then it's going to squeeze on the overall energies that are around you. Just looking at our earthquake map here, you can see that this is a map of the earthquakes over the last 7 days. It is 4.5 Richter and above. The most interesting thing to see is there is nothing whatsoever in the northern Americas, in Canada or in the US. There's nothing going on there. But in every other chakras, it's going off all over the place. Let me just show you the chakras of the earth. So there's the sacrum up there. There is that section there is there's nothing going on there, but there's a lot going on that's just creeping up towards the heart. They're certainly heading towards the crown chakra. The third eye and the throat chakra, which is up in Mount Fuji, is also being majorly affected, as much as the solar plexus and the root chakra. Okay, so there's nothing going on. Let me just bring that back up. There's the root chakra there. The sacrum is up there, so there's nothing going on. You've got the solar plexus here, the third eye and the throat chakra there, the crown chakra there, and the heart chakra there. So everything's going off, and it's not this individual sort of energies. And this is where we've got to really take our own ego out of the situation in this coming future and look at the greater good and look at the common sense governance which we need to start applying in the world, and stop allowing certain small groups of people just taking us off in directions which causes death and destruction across the earth, not only in humans but also for the planet itself. You know, there's I don't think we can kill a planet. Let me just say that now. But it's not. We're not keeping the house clean. Let's put it that way. More than anything else. And this is what we've got to think about. We've got to be conscious about that. Let's just go across and see the earthquakes here. This is the earthquakes today, and you can see that build up that I was talking about in the last energy update. That build up on the Alaskan Ridge. There is a little bit around the sacrum as well, but they're only small earthquakes, nothing really major. But there is some that's coming around Mount Shasta area, around this area here. So that it is quite tugging away at it, and it's I think it's personally just asking us to step out of the situation and start getting it involved into the greater plan, as it were, the greater good. So, yeah, that's what's going on around us at the moment. It's, as I say, it's going to be picking up enormously over the next few days, and that's what we should be paying attention to. I'm going to be doing lots of videos this week according to that, on the Cymatic TV, and how it affects your chakras and auras and so forth. But in the meantime, let's get back to the energy of the earth. Let's go and do the ley line, and also get a message from the earth and the chakra sequencing.
So, totally spot on the sun. Absolutely brilliant. Yeah, and I think it's going to kick off even more. And I think a lot of people are predicting the end of the solar maximum in 2025. I think it's going to drop out way before then. I think it's going to drop out at the end of the summer, as I said earlier on. And that changes our energy. That changes the Earth's energy. This also changes of the way in which we do things and the things that we do. So yeah, let's get on and see what's going on with the ley lines around this church here. So we're standing right on the male line here that goes through there, comes through there, comes through this crosshair. Obviously a very male situation. It comes towards us like that. And I'm literally standing right on it. Now what you might not see, and I'll have to zoom in the background, you've got the Virgin Mary. Now that's obviously female energy rather than male energy. And so what's happening here, let me just zoom out a little bit. You have a female line that comes across from there, goes through there, comes out there, and literally goes just past that young man sitting on the wall just down there. It comes out of there, goes along there and through that red van in a way. So that's that female line that comes through from there, goes through the church, all the way through the church, and then comes out the church outside. The male line is coming through there, coming through that church there, coming through all the way out through there and into me there. So let's just go down there, and the crossing point, I'm going to have to see whether the church is open, see whether we can go on the crossing point. But if not, we're going to take it from the male line today, the message from the earth and the chakra sequencing. It's quite a beautiful place, actually. I will show you the Virgin Mary, and I'll show you something in particular, is her feet. Now, there's nothing particular about her feet. She doesn't have 6 toes on each foot, as it were, but usually when it's on a ley line and it's only outside of the church's perimeters, along the road, sometimes you'll see a statue of the Virgin Mary in France. And if you see she's walking on a snake, that is the dragon that Michael slayed with his staff. That's what they are, those my dowsing rods. It's exactly what they are. And you're defining the line. You're stabbing the line, as it were. I don't stab it, obviously. I stroke it. You know, the energy lines are so much more sort of agreeable when you stroke. It's like the dog. If you're going to whack a dog, you know, you'd expect to be bitten. So I wouldn't do that in any way. You know, some people do, as we've seen at Lord's, yeah. So some people do, but I wouldn't if I was you. It's much more enjoyable. You can actually get a lot more out of the lines and the energies, individually and collectively, if you learn to sort of like just take it easy with the energies. So let's just get on to seeing. We've got here, I'm just going to move this way a little bit actually, because it takes me more into the line than anything else. Just put that there like that. Okay, so just meditating now on the line. Okay, so there's the connection. Get the initial connection in one of my chakras. Definitely feel it in the body now. Okay, so let's just go for a chakra sequencing and see what's going on there. Just waiting for it to come round. Here we go, and there it is there, okay? And it goes up to the crown and the root at the same time, so the vertical is very equal. And then it's playing into the throat chakra and the third eye at the same time. It sort of hums past the sacrum and then really hits the solar plexus. And then we get the heart, which is lovely. Goes down to the root. Up to the crown and back to the sternum again. The central point of where your energy comes into your life. Oh, the light's, sorry, a bit bad that way. I'll go this way, sorry. Okay. Let's get connecting back in now. I just want to get a message from that earth. I'm using the crossing point, which is literally in front of me. Unfortunately, I can't go into the church at the moment. But I can, my energy can, there's no problem about that. There we go, crossing point down into the center of the earth. She's looking quite vibrant, actually. She's looking like silvery light energy. It's really nice. Sometimes it's yellow, sometimes it's red, sometimes it's even black. You know, it depends on what's coming through on the energy of the earth. At the moment, it's really zippy. I would have thought very mental energies more than anything else. So let's just get back to that. Sorry, started connecting too much of the mental. Okay, there's the center. There's a certain yellowness to it as well, actually. The more I think about it, the more and more I observe, as it were, the more and more it becomes yellow. So let me just lay back onto that energy. I'll wait for my message to come round. Here it comes. There. Showing a long road that sweeps between valley hills and keeps going forward, and people walking on it, going places. And it's showing, it's almost as if like the sun's coming up in the background behind the hills, as it were. So it is talking about how the sun is getting ready for the sun to kick off as well. And it's showing holding hands as well, which is, I think this is to do with that whole sort of, you know, working for the greater good, as it were. It's like a deer as well that's getting involved. The cycle of life is in everything, even within social constructs or social fads or fashions, even within politics, within money. And it's showing as if like, it's sort of saying there's a lot of cycles that are coming together at one point here. And this is giving us a key to what is coming over the next 10 years in a way, because those come together, then they go apart. They're shorter cycles, and then they'll come back together again over a 10-year period, as it were. So it's as if like it's a precursor for even more rhythms that to be connected into it. And this has possibly got to do with pole shift. And I think this is the case here. The message is sort of saying it's now time to take the hands of your person next to you, whoever it is, and just walk down the path together, you know, down your path together. It's like, that's the sort of thing that sort of comes out of it. On the chakra sequencing, I'd like to go back to that because I never had a chance to explain it. But the third eye and the throat chakra seems to be really prominent. And with that prominence, it's almost sort of saying bringing your ideas into vocal, you know, form. That is one of the first steps, or one of the steps in manifestation. So expressing ideas, expressing viewpoints, and you know, you're not going to agree with everyone. We're not going to agree with everybody else. That's just the way it goes. And it's probably good like that. So then we get a much better view of things. And it doesn't, sometimes in a situation, not one person is right. Two people who could be opposite to each other could have points of rights within them. You know, it's like the yin and the yang. Sometimes, you know, you've got the white in the black and the black in the white. And I think this is where we've got to feel at ease about expressing ideas, even if people don't agree with them. It doesn't necessarily mean these people that don't agree with us, or agree with you, or you agreeing with them, or I agreeing with them, or we agreeing with us, or them, whatever it is, shouldn't be punished for that as well. And certainly not punished by, like, the minority, as it were. You know, this is where the common sense comes into it. And I think this is very mental, actually, common sense. It's very logical ideas. And this is why I call it the logical revolution. So if you're going to be doing meditations, just allow that sort of third eye and throat chakra to really sort of take its place and give us all that guidance and keep us open to that logical revolution or evolution that we're going through. So there you go. Thank you very much for being with us here on Cymatic TV. Really do appreciate any support you give to this channel. It's absolutely lovely. Hope you get the best out of these readings, about these videos and the dowsing and so forth. Yeah, I will see you soon. I'm going to be doing that video on the eclipse and also on the equinoxes as well, and the changing energies, and obviously anything else that comes up from the sun. I will see you soon. In the meantime, don't forget, life should be fun, so please do enjoy.